Hello everyone, today we are going to talk about the best Mario Kart 8 tracks of all time according to me. Retro tracks do not count because they're not original tracks, so that means no Booster Pass DLC tracks either. So with all that out of the way, let's just go ahead and do this. Number 10. First up on this list, we have a track that will surely tickle your taste buds. Sweet Sweet Canyon is a really cool track. You go around a world full of sweets, hence the name. At one part, the path splits, and you go along what looks like paths of Laffy Taffy. I'd also like to mention that this track reminds me a lot of Sugar Rush from Wreck-It Ralph. The textures on this track are really nice to look at, and they make the track a lot more vibrant. The music also slaps a bunch as well. Number 9. Next on the list, we have Dragon Driftway. This track is an old dojo shaped like Gobblegut from Super Mario Galaxy 2. That's an interesting reference. The music also slaps. It sounds like something you'd hear in a movie or a fighting game. The anti-gravity sections are the really fun part. Near enough the entire track is one big anti-gravity loop with plenty of shortcuts you can take. I like the Lakitu mural on the wall, it looks really cool. You can also drive into those post things that stick out of the ground to get some extra speed as well. Number 8. Up next is Electrodrome. This is a lot like Music Park, but a bit more rave themed. At different parts, the ground that you drive on alters the music slightly and adds a cool visual effect. I also like the screen with all of the enemies dancing on it. It just looks so wholesome. Like Dragon Driftway, the anti-gravity parts are a lot of fun and they give this track a more interesting feel, which generally makes it even more fun to play on in my opinion. Number 7. Now another track from the Star Cup. This one is Dolphin Shoals. This track is a lot of fun to play on for various reasons. The rings you can jump through give you extra speed, and you can even drive on an eel and trick off of its back. The music also gives you a sense of excitement and sets the tone for the track. This track has a lot of elements that give it the charm it deserves, and the colours are really nice to look at. Number 6. Here we have a track from the Flower Cup. Shy Guy Falls is a track where you drive on a mountain full of Shy Guys. At one part you go over a waterfall which leads to a glider jump. The sharp turns and jumps also add to the fun. My favourite part of this track are the Shy Guys mining to the music. The elements of this track are fun and they give off an exhilarating vibe. There actually isn't a lot to say about this track other than the fact that it's really fun to play on. So let's just carry on with the list, shall we? Number 5. Now we're getting into the really amazing tracks. Super Bell Subway is a track where you drive through an underground subway reminiscent of London or New York. You can even drive on top of the trains for extra speed. Even though it's quite hard to do, it's really satisfying when you do it. This track also has little nods to other tracks in the game on the timetables in the background. The music's also really cool as well. Number 4. Of all the variations of Bowser's Castle, this one has to be my favourite simply because of how unique it is. There are lasers, fire bars and spiked balls which are quite challenging to avoid at times. There's also a giant stone Bowser statue that punches the ground so hard that it makes shockwaves that you can trick off of. The track is also visually stunning. The starting line is on fire, the crowd is full of Hammer Bros and Dry Bones. Number 3. I get a really good feeling when I play on Sunshine Airport. Going off of the glider sections and seeing the plane fly over you is really cool. I also love how you can drive on a plane at one part. The music is also really good and adds to the holiday vibe. There have been times where I've tried to go for the shortcut without a mushroom, but I've never been able to pull it off. Like seriously, it looks really hard. Number 2. Well, would you look at that? I've chosen the entire Star Cup. Mount Wario is a really unique track because instead of it looping, it's one giant track. You start in a helicopter and drive down the mountain. At one part, you drive through a water dam and there are boost pads in the water. Then, you go through a forest with trees and roots that you can trick off of. The last section takes you down a ski slope, which reminds me a lot of Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Winter Games. There's more, but for now let's find out what the best track in the game is. You might agree with me, you might disagree with me, so let's find out. And now, the number 1 best Mario Kart 8 track in my opinion is... Of every track in this entire game, Big Blue is without a doubt my favourite track in the game. I will admit that I had a hard time picking between this and Mount Wario, but I chose this track because playing it on 200cc is a blast. The water slides and speed boosts are exhilarating, and the entire track just gave me an adrenaline rush. You can even cut out massive parts of the track if you know what you're doing. So those are the best tracks in my opinion. Please be sure to leave a like and subscribe if you enjoyed this, and leave a comment telling me what your favourite track is. Also check out my Discord, Twitch, Twitter and Instagram. Until next time, sayonara my wonderful chums.